All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody is doing well on this fantabulous Saturday morning. AZ Coins is in the house. Perplexed Minds is in the house. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you all being here and being present. I do appreciate the support from everybody in there. Please, somebody give me a thumbs up. Make sure we have some good audio. Again, we're going to be talking about the 2023 Peace Dollar. What's up, Jeff? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Coin Junkie AG, my brother from a northern mother. Thanks for coming into the stream, bud. I appreciate it. Silver Spot. Yep, Silver Spot's going up. That is true. Let's see. Every coin should be eye checked by 2 people. Yeah, so there's definitely some issues when we're talking about the 2023 Peace Dollar. William E., thank you for coming in. And I want to kind of talk about that. We had a discussion at the Department of Numismatics live stream on Sunday. And so I'm going to continue on that discussion, kind of go a little bit more in depth. I know that Silver Wolverine put a video out, still kind of questioning the quality and stuff like that. But I want to take more of a neutral standpoint, not slamming the mint. There are things that they can do. We know that. But things happen. Quality control is quality control. And so we'll get there. But I want to take more of a neutral standpoint, point at just the facts, right? What are we seeing? What are those things that we need to look for? So we'll be kind of talking about that today. I got a couple things that I want to go over. I think you guys will find this very useful. I'm trying to provide something that was beneficial. Ringmaster Ray, Brown Sugar, thank you guys for coming in. What's up, Chris? How are you doing, brother? Appreciate you coming in. William E. is in the house. Oh, man, I love seeing you guys come through. I really, really do. Thank you all for being here. I do appreciate you all very much. Shift Kicker. Hi, Shift Kicker. How are you? That's somebody who supported the tar out of my channel. Always gracious to see you. I'm glad to have you in this stream on this Saturday morning. I don't know if you guys have your coffee ready, but if you don't, go ahead and please go ahead and tap you off a cup of coffee. We'll begin here in just a couple minutes. Let a couple more people come in and just do some generalized chit chat. So get your morning juice of life if you need it. And we'll begin here in just a second. See Happy Chappy, what's going on, dude? I had so much fun jacking with you yesterday in Silver Bull's channel. It's fun to go back and forth. I love the banter, brother. That was fun. Love supporting Silver Bull. He's good. He's a good dude, right, broski? So it's good to kind of hang in and be able to do that. Hopefully here pretty soon I'll be able to get those watch hours. And again, you guys, thank you so much. There's a couple of people who've really been digging in and helping me get some watch hours. I haven't seen the update yet as to watch hours. It takes about a week or so before people start doing it to seeing the results. Usually the weekend live streams, I start getting results around Thursday. So I haven't seen the, thanks Perplexed Mind, I appreciate it. I haven't seen the results from earlier in the week, but hopefully they come through pretty quickly and we can start seeing those numbers creep up. I'm guessing, approximating based off of what people are saying, that I'm sitting at about 400 hours to go, and then I'll be able to do the memberships. I've got some ideas for that. Some unique things, a couple things that are really cool that will be good for the membership. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Outstanding. So let me see if I got things together. I think I do. Is everybody good with their morning coffee? I'm going to go ahead and kind of dig straight into this. Again, thank you all for being here. I appreciate your support and your generosity. And all right, so let's get this set up. And let me change the screen. So I'm going to magically jump in the corner, you know, whatever you want to do, and then bam, there I am. All right. So again, we're going to be talking about the 2023 peace dollar. It's a beautiful piece. It really is. I like it. I have one sitting here. Oops. I have one sitting here with me. I want to look at this. Now, the camera that I have for my desktop is not working very good. Connor Haywood, that is a name that I haven't seen for a little while. Thank you for coming into the stream. Miss Coin Crew, thank you for being here. Connor Haywood, we'll take a couple more minutes, so please go get your cup of coffee if you want to come back and then enjoy the stream. I love the peace dollar. I do. It's a gorgeous design. I'm happy with mine. Now, I don't have one of the top end ones. I can promise you that. There are things that you can look at, and I'll talk to you about how to identify those. I don't have any damage on my coin. I don't have any spots on my coin, but there are things in this particular coin that tell me that it's probably proof 68, proof 69. It definitely is in a 70. And I'm going to kind of go over that, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that earlier. There is something that I did like. If you're going to be stacking these, they did something a little bit different to allow, that's kind of like the slight interlocking with the front ring to the back ring so that they kind of sit on where you don't scratch the surface of the capsule. That was a change in the design. We'll kind of talk about that as well. Overall, the peace dollar, I'm pretty satisfied with. Again, this is one of my, when you're talking about dollars, now outside of everybody who knows me knows Christian Gobrecht is my favorite. I love the seated design. It's a fabulous, you know, we're chilling on Liberty. I love that. But when you're looking at the Morgan and the peace dollar for me is just one of those that really stands out. So we're going to talk about the numbers to date. So I'm going to show you the numbers as of August 20th, kind of show you where we're at as far as the numbers that have come across, the total numbers minted, kind of where they sit, talk about some of the things that we've had discussions-wise as far as concerns within the community. I know that there's been a lot of people who sent their stuff back. That Jay Tizzo's in the house. Thank you for being here, Jay Tizzo. Farm Dog, what's going on? Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you a ton. Great avid supporter of the channel. So thank you. I appreciate you. But again, there's been a lot of community concerns, a lot of community posts, lots of videos across coin and stacking regarding issues with the regular strike as well as the proof. I'm going to pretty much be focusing on the proof peace dollar. However, we'll be talking a little bit about the normal strike. I'm not going to get into the director's thing and all that craziness because some of the dollar figures and things for that particular variety are just astronomical through the roof. I think the top one sold for something like 7 or 8 grand already. There's one on eBay for 12,000. It's ridiculous. So if you're looking at the director's cut and you want to see something funny, go check that out, but we're not going to be talking about it today. We're going to talk about Sunday's Department of Numismatic live stream discussion where me, Silver Wolverine, and Department of Numismatics talked about what Silver Wolverine called the halo, or the ring around the peace dollar. We're going to talk about what that is. I'm going to give you my summation of it based off of the understanding of the minting process. I can't 100% unequivocally confirm that I'm correct, but there's enough information here that when you look at the logistics, you look at the layout, you can go back, you can watch Department of Numismatics video, you'll kind of understand, look at the premise of why we broke certain things down, why we say certain things are certain things. And we'll talk about that here in just a second. But again, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, I'm seeing stuff in chat where people are like, I would never buy one. I'm going to buy one because I like the design, right? I bought the Morgan and I'm not happy with it at all. Like the Morgan's probably one I'm going to just sell or give away. I don't like the Morgan dollar. It looks artificial. It looks fake. I'm really not happy with the minting of that particular coin. Frosty in the house. What's up, Papa York? Thank you for popping in. Appreciate you being here. So we'll talk about the Sunday discussion, talk a little bit what happens. I got some photos here that I'm going to be showing you as well, kind of some of the things that we looked at. I'm going to give you some tips and things to look for. If you're looking at raw versions of these things, there are some things that you definitely can kind of zoom into to tell whether or not you're getting one of the higher end coins. And then we're going to wrap it up with kind of my suggestion kind of close it off, and then we'll stream on into the Premier train. So that's kind of just the general flow of what we're working on today. Let's see, Chief Stacker's in the house. Thank you, Chief, for being here. I appreciate you. He is my brother from another Navy mother. So again, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. So let's go ahead and kind of talk about some of the sales from the mint and the things that we're seeing. So if you look at the information above me, you're going to see that as of the 20th, there were 285,000 of the peace dollars that have been sold, which is probably about 55–60% of the peace dollars have sold. So the one thing that I want to classify here as very important is there's time. You don't have to rush. If you want to get one of these, take time, look at them, right? Have people zoom in, look for certain items. There is absolutely no rush on these. It's not like these things flew out the door. Now, when they had the mintage set at 250,000, it would have been a different story. But again, they upped the mintage from 250 to 400,000. And so don't sweat it. The other thing is, don't freak out over the proof 70s. Don't do it. It's one of those things where there's still quite a few of them. Now, the proof 69 numbers are increasing. There were only a few the other day. Now you're looking at 42. That number probably has increased over the last probably week or so. PCGS just hasn't updated their information. Now, these are first day of issues. Now, there's other ones along the line. So again, when you're looking at the first day of issues, the numbers are going to be higher than when you're looking at the normal proof 70 that don't have that designation. The reason for that is those are fresh, hot off brand new dies. You're going to be crisp. They're going to be clean. They're going to be nice. They're going to be sharp. So you're going to see the proof end for those first strikes, those first ones, a little bit higher. And again, as you can see right here, the top sell as of the 20th on eBay was $345. My opinion, it's ridiculous. Those numbers will come down. And the reason that I say they will come down is because if this were already sold out, there's kind of that impulse buy, right? There's that impromptu, oh, ooh, got to get it. Same thing that works in grocery and convenience stores, right? You're at the checkout stand and you have that impulse section, that magazine rack with the gum and the lighters and all this stuff you really don't need. It's stuff that they push out there and it's there. And people go, oh, I could use one of those. Well, you really can't. It's just there. And you're at the check stand, so why not? You're right there. It's the same thing with this one. I don't think that people should be freaking out to get one. I don't think they should be digging in and just slamming it hard because, again, these are going to be around. Prices will fluctuate. They may go up, they may go down, but I'm expecting them to go down simply because there wasn't that massive boom, they're sold out. Now, if it would have been they were sold out and it went fast, then I think the prices would have jumped up and I think they would have stayed there. But I don't think these prices are going to stay there. I think we're going to see an initial influx of these coins pushing $200, $300, $350, but then they're going to come back. They're going to settle down into the $120 to $160 range. We've already started to see prices coming down a little bit, and it's only been a little while. So again, don't freak out. Don't rush over this. There have been videos by a number of different people. CoinHelpYou said the same thing, right? Don't freak out. This is your warning. Don't go crazy. Don't spend a bunch of money because these prices are going to come down. Now, Siren Silver Stash is in the house, and Siren is an amazing mod. So please say hi to her. Give her some thumbs up. Siren, love you. Hey, Shelbean, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. I missed you, I think, the first time your name popped through. So appreciate you being here. But again, when you're looking at these, now, another thing you need to note is if you're looking at things like PCGS or NGC, especially PCGS, because PCGS was what I was looking at when I first started out looking up this information. There are 30 different subcategories in this particular one. And then if you're looking at the 2-coin set with the piece and the mint dollar, there's like 5 or 6 different sell strategy variety combinations that are there. So there's a whole bunch of different varieties you need to look at. You need to make sure you're looking at the right one for your particular coin or the coin that you're going to buy. Okay, so this one, again, these are first day, first easy, first run numbers. Again, and you'll be able to tell that because you're looking at the number of proof 70s against the proof 69s. that tells you these are brand new, hot off the press, early release. And so, but again, I think that these are going to come down. Yeah, it's again, you know, it's up to you guys if you want to purchase one or not. But again, I can't argue the fact that I love the coin. It's a beautiful piece. I really like the design. Now, I want to kind of talk about some of the issues that I've had within the community. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff here, and we're going to kind of get into this and some of the things that are nitpicky. When you're looking at a Proof 70, you want to be nitpicky. Some of these are just, how do I find ways to slam the mint, right? The mint's quality control has failed. We know these. What's up, Mike Slice? Thank you for being in here. Appreciate you coming into the stream. A lot of people are just, they're hell-bent on degrading the mint. And so you got to make sure you pick and choose what you're listening to if you want fair and objective information. And this is what I'm going to try and give you today. Looking at the ring or halo around the reverse. Now, this is something that was discussed in the Department of Numismatics live stream. You can see that information down here at the bottom where my head's cutting off the dawn. My fat head cut off the dawn. That's funny. But people are talking about a halo around a coin. And they're talking about, well, this is damage. This is a quality control issue. I'll show you a photo of a portion of this a little bit later. And I'll show you on my coin. Now, you can't see it on my coin, which in my opinion is a telltale sign that this is not one of the higher grades. So let's go ahead and kind of dispel the myth of what the halo around the ring is. Now, when you look at the coin, and I'm going to just kind of put this up here, you're not going to be able to see that very well. But when you look around the coin, where you look at the In God We Trust, you look around the date. No, flip that over so it's upright. There's a little area where you can see this kind of reflective ring. And it's kind of around, you can kind of see it right. Maybe I'm not going to get it. But anyway, there it is. So like a little flash. Hopefully you guys were able to kind of see a little bit of where that was at, but I'm not getting a very good shot here. And the camera that I have, let me change and see if I can get this camera to come up real quick. Let's see. All right. So this is not the best quality. And again, I'm looking at, I need to replace this particular camera because it just does not focus. So I'm not sure what's going on with it. But what's happening is right here about where my thumb is, there's a ring that runs all the way around the coin. Okay. And this is what people are talking about and complaining about. Now you can't see it on mine. And I think my personal opinion is that this is a telltale sign. And my thought process is that those are the coins you want. Genuinely, those are the coins you want. And the reason that I say that is when we had a discussion with the Department of Numismatics, he had both the Proof 70 and then he had a raw coin. Now, when we were looking at this, he wanted to look at the information. And again, Silver Wolverine came on and said, you know, I want to look at it because we knew you had both of them. And as they brought it up, the one thing that was quite clear is that that ring that was there, that kind of halo around the middle of the devices, the lower end of the devices, all the way in through the date, all the way through the V and trust and that kind of area. It was very, very prominent, not only in his proof coin, but in the photos that were done by NGC regarding that particular item. Yeah, but it's not, Chief. And I'm going to kind of explain what I believe it is, because when you're looking at it, and it's not on all the coins, okay? So when you're talking about the minting process, and people, you don't have to agree with this. I'm giving you my commentary on what I believe it is and why I believe it is. There are people who know much more about this than I do, but I want to explain why I'm thinking what I'm thinking it is. When you look at this particular coin, there are a couple things that you need to remember about this coin. Number one, it is slightly concave, which means that it gently dips, okay? That is a key element in identifying what this item is. Number two, it's a proof coin, deep mirror finish. That deep mirror finish is your second clue to what's going on with this particular coin. The third item is when it appears in the light. When you look at the coin head on without the light being like directly behind or whatever, you don't see it. You have to tilt the coin towards pointed at the light. When the light hits it is when you see that ring. Okay. I do not believe that that is damage. I actually believe this is a thing that you really want to see in this particular coin. This also happened in the baseball coins or the Apollo 11 coins to some degree. Now, they were a lesser degree because of the way the design went. However, what I believe you're looking at is I believe you're looking at that deep reflective fields and that reflective off the high rim. Remember, this is a high relief. And when you look at the information, when you look at the coin and you're looking at it, I think what you're seeing is you're seeing a balanced rim. Okay, now if you go look at the Department of Numismatics, now my coin, again, you can't see this very well. I'm going to pull this back up one more time. And again, I apologize for the low quality of this particular camera. I'm going to work on getting this done. But when you look at this particular coin, let me move my keyboard out of the way and set this down. And let me see if I can't do this real fast. I don't think that's going to help me zoom in a little bit. But when you're looking at this particular coin, I'm going to pull it up here. And it's, yeah, I'm just not going to be able to focus it. I hate it when that happens. What you're seeing on my coin is a nice, solid, even rim around both sides. Now, if you look at the eagle, this is another issue, and I'll be talking about that here in just a few moments. This is the only reason I'm not happy with my particular coin. But when you look at the rim is even all the way around. Now, when you look at it with the dark reflective fields, if you shift the light slightly off, you get what is expected from a deep cameo, which is that dark black background, so that you get that really beautiful frosting from the high relief image there of Lady Liberty, right? But if you put that to where you get that reflection of the light and you put that to where it fills up, now you get that deep reflective finish. Now, when you look at that reflective finish, now this is because it's reflecting the light directly back into the camera. When you look at that deep reflective finish, what you're seeing now is where you would see that ring. So I definitely believe that it is a reflection of the high rim that is projecting itself out, 2 millimeters or something like that. And that's why you're getting this ring around the coin. Now, the reason that I say it's not an issue is when you look at the field, there's nothing there. It's clean, it's crisp, there's no damage. In the proof coin that we looked at, there's no waves, there's no wobbles. You don't see the ripples of the metal being pushed out during the minting process. It's a beautiful, clean, crisp item. Now, this camera, again, I wish it was better, and I apologize, because it makes it really difficult for me to show what I want to show. I'm actually going to just close this because it's going to frustrate me. But when you look at it, you don't see it on the coins that have, quote unquote, a little bit lesser quality. And the reason for that is kind of threefold. Number one, off-center strike. If that strike is slightly off, you're only going to see that halo effect in the area where the rim is stronger. You're not necessarily going to see that halo effect in the area where the rim is weaker. Now, that was also confirmed when we looked on Sundays for the Department of Numismatics and we looked at that particular item, you could see that in that weak strike, you did not see the reflective property in that area where the rim was very thin. And the reason for that is that rim is very thin. There's not as much information or metal being pushed over to that side. That rim is not as pronounced. The centering is off. So you're going to get more of that pronounced rim where the rim is thicker, solid. You get that more of that reflective area, more of the light reflects off into that deep field. And so you're only going to see that reflective property in a portion of it. This is why a lot of people would look at it and go, oh man, I don't have it in my coin. My coin must be really good. It's actually just the opposite. My summation of this is that if you see that particular item in that area, yes, Yoxnav, we're talking about the new Peace and Morgan dollars. In particular, the Peace dollar, okay? I haven't seen it on the Morgan, but I tell you, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even looking at the Morgan. It pisses me off to look at it. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not even going to deal with the coin. I didn't even bring it up here. It's put away. I haven't looked at it since I looked at it initially. I'm just not happy with the Morgan dollar. I don't like the way it looks. So when you're looking at that, and now the other thing is when you're looking at the Peace dollar and you're looking at the reverse, you're going to see a thinning of the rim down here in the bottom. And that's not because it's off center. You can have it to where it is, but it's because the amount of material that's being pushed in, it's being pushed into other areas. So you may have a higher relief in certain areas than you do in others. So that rim may appear thinner, but it's not necessarily. It's actually part of the design element. If you look at the reverse on Proof 70 coins, you'll still see on the reverse of that coin, you'll see a slightly smaller rim at the lower portion of that. It's not much, but if you look at it very carefully, sorry, just read the description. Probably should have read that first. No worries, brother. It's all good. But again, so my thing is, I personally think that if you have one where that has a solid halo, I think you're on the right track. Now, I'm going to give you a couple things to look for here in just a few moments, so make sure you stay tuned so you can see that, because it's going to be really important that you look at these particular items because, again, as they say, the devil is in the details. And I'm going to show you a couple things to look for to really make sure that you're looking at that. Now, let's kind of talk about the poor quality control. Excuse me, I'm going to go ahead and take a drink. This Logic and VRC are in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Paula, hi Paula, how are you? I haven't seen her in chat yet. She hasn't dismantled me, so hopefully I'm on the right track. A couple things regarding the poor quality control. The hair loss detail. This is something I'm definitely going to be showing you here in just a few moments in a couple images. This is really important. People are saying, well, I have a perfect coin. Well, you got the devil's in the details, right? You really need to look at a couple things to be able to do that. The one thing that I'm really upset about is the reverse of my coin. This eagle, it almost, it's borderline looks like a counterfeit coin. There is so little detail in the reverse of my particular one. I'll probably be trying to find one because I want a higher quality coin. I'm going to keep it because I love it, but I'm going to do that. But I'll show you in a couple photos the detail that you should have and then explain to you why. Miss Coin Crew, yeah, so we're going to talk about that too, because there's something about grading first strikes and then getting other ones that are brand new. So we'll be talking about that here in a minute. I'm right there with you. I think it's a marketing ploy, and I'm not on that. But again, I'm not here to either talk good or talk bad about the mint. Just basic facts about the coin that's happening right now. When you're looking at the regular strikes, one thing that people have talked about, and I've seen a number of videos regarding this, is that's like there's actual oil spots on the coin. Now they're talking specifically on the reverse above the eagle, probably at the 12:30, between 12 and 12:30 mark of the coin. So right, pretty much high noon. So that's kind of thing. There have been people who have actually had in their capsule, they've done the unboxings, they open it up, and they've got scratches on their coins. One person had like genuine like planchet damage to their coin. Things like lint inside the holders and stuff like that. Some of this is just nitpicky stuff. But again, if you have a scratched field and you get a brand new proof coin, I'm definitely sending that back. If you look over at the far right side, you'll see one of the issues that I had was the return policy about getting these. There was a very limited time frame on these. They're quick to take your money, but hard to get it back. So there are definitely some things that we can talk about here in just a minute. Again, when you see some of the pictures, we'll talk a little bit more about it. But there were some damaged planchets, and these things are quality control. But you know what? I mean, again, why do we collect errors? Why do we collect varieties? Because these things slip through the crack. So would I be sending it back immediately? Maybe. I'm going to try to determine whether or not it happened during the minting process or if it happened post-handling. If it happened post-handling, I'm absolutely sending it back. But if this is something that we can prove and validate that it happened in the minting process, hell no, I'm keeping that beast, right? Because that's going to be valuable later. That's what our errors are. That's what our varieties are. So determine when it happened is going to be important. Just because there's some damage or it appears that there's some damage or something wrong with the coin doesn't mean that it's one that you want to send back. So a couple of things, as you'll hear a lot of people say, know the minting process. And that's really important when you're looking at this here to be able to do that. Now, one thing that I've heard a lot of people complain about is the rattling of the coins. I don't have that issue with either of mine. Didn't happen with the Morgan or the piece. My coin was in there, but I've heard a number of them where they rattled in the box. I know in 2021 they had issues with people getting their boxes in and their holder was actually open and their coin was loose inside the package, not even in the plastic holder. I didn't hear about any of those. I've heard the holder itself fell out and then they were rattling around in the box, but the coin was still in the holder. So I didn't hear about some of the nightmares that we heard about them falling out of them in 2021 this year. So that's definitely good. They've improved the holders. Now, if you've ever tried to open one of these, sometimes they're very, very, very difficult to do so, but don't do so without gloves, without taking proper care of your coin, because if you open it and you damage it, you put fingerprints on it and stuff like that, that's you're done. There are a lot of other issues, but again, some of them, yeah, I would send the coin back for some of them. For other ones, I don't think I would. I would keep it and kind of look at it, especially if you know the minting process and you know that it could have actually happened within the minting process or happened during the actual time of the strike. Again, when we're talking about arrears, remember, right? PDS, just like the coins themselves, planchet, die, and strike. So it's important that you understand those types of errors. And then you need to understand which one it could be, understand how it could happen in the minting process, and then determine if it's actually an error or if it's damage. Don't be sending back an error coin, man. You'd be really, really hard-pressed probably to find some of those. So really understand your minting process before returning some of those items. So if you need to get help, get help. And again, at this point, in many cases, it's too late. People are still ordering from the mint. As I stated before, only 285,000 out of 400,000 have been sold. So there's still 115,000 of them that are available for purchase from the mint. So if you do purchase one, the return process is still in play. Now they give you up to 30 days. If you don't get your coin or claim your coin, there are other informations that you can find on that. But again, get your coin, open it up, look at it, and then make a determination. If you need help, again, we have different people that can help in that, make sure that thing is looked at. The biggest issue that I heard regarding 2023 Peace and Morgan dollars was the purchasing issues. Massive issues with subscriptions where people would go to make changes with their subscriptions, or they would have multiples. And then the mint stated initially that it was going to be 3 days, and they pushed it out to 5. People came in a couple of days beforehand, changed their order, You know, people lost jobs or they just didn't have the money to do it, so they reduced their order because they couldn't do it, and the mint still charged them for the initial one. Put some people in a hard place, put them in a bind. I don't think that you should put on your site one day before the deadline that you are changing your policy. Give people a little bit of time, send out email, send out notification, put something up there. But yeah, so EMR coins, I would have done the same thing with that uncirculated coin, especially if it had the oil or it really, really lacked the details. I would have sent that back to you. I'm keeping the proof coin. Now I like the proof dollar. All right, I really do like this. I am going to be seeking an MS or a proof 70 grade because I want one in high grade, but I am not in a hurry, right? I am not going to react. Do not capitalized, underscored, bold, italicized in Celtic bold font. Do not freak out and go buy one right now because you got to have one. Wait, prices will come down. There's not this initial knee-jerk reaction that everybody expected. They did not sell out. So prices will eventually fall. I think there's going to be a big flux. Let it breathe. Let it wait. And then go back and go ahead and buy one. I think that you're also going to be looking at information where that's going to happen on the regular circulated strikes as well, right? Prices are going to come down. Again, don't freak out, don't react. Definitely don't be spending big money on these upfront. If you can find one and it's a good price, if you're willing to pay for it and you want to do it, that's fine. But again, don't jump on the bus and hurry up and take all the marketing into, you know, with stride, please. Just don't react. Just don't do it. That's kind of my biggest one. I really want people to protect themselves in this particular regard. And again, you know, now Test Logic, I didn't have any issues at all. Mine went very smoothly. I got notification. Now I did have notification. I did have a problem with the mint when it came to my Navy commemorative medal. And see, I didn't say coin that time, Paula. Medal, where they canceled my subscription because of the credit card. And I contacted them and they're like, oh, we've already billed you for it. I'm like, well, I just bought another one because you sent me an email saying it was canceled. And they're like, oh. And then, so they're like, oh, well, you've done two. Do you want us to refund one? I'm like, no, it's okay. It's not a big deal. I want one of these anyway. And then they put me on back order. It's like, what the hell? So there have been a lot of people who've experienced issues with subscriptions and stuff like that. But wherever you have stuff like that, it's going to happen, right? And so just don't freak out and feel like you have to jump on board. Don't be spending $300. You know, this top sell of $345 on eBay already for a proof 70. It's nuts. It's insane. Give it some time. They're going to come down and they will eventually work out. Matthew DeHart, thank you for coming in. I haven't seen you in the stream before. You may have been here, but if this is your first time, please make sure you smash that thumbs up. And if I give you detail and you're interested in doing it, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. If you're already a member, then thank you for being a member of the channel. But again, there's so many good coins out there. Take your time and know what to look for. So what I want to do now is I kind of want to go ahead and show you some of the things. What I want to focus on first off is dispel a couple things that I heard on Sunday. Again, you see the peace dollar here, good quality image, right, in the details. Oh my God, I'm so frustrated with mine. It's flat. Like, I don't have any detail, very, very, very few feathers. It looks like a fake coin. It's beautiful, but there's just no detail in it. There's just no detail in the reverse of my particular coin. It definitely looks a little bit late die stage for this particular one. You can see it in the hair. We'll be talking about the hair, the two images on the right as well. But my coin looks nothing like this. And so when the first thing that I want you to look at when you're doing it, I want you to look at the reverse. Look at the feathers, right? This section right here is going to be key. Do you see detail here? Do you see detail in the neck of the eagle, right? If you don't, and it just looks like kind of these light general lines, you're not going to be getting a proof 70 coin. If you're not seeing some of the little feathering here, you're not seeing some of the smaller details, that's definitely not going to be a proof 70. So as you're looking at some of these, you go to a coin shop, you're looking at some of the detail, you're looking at raw coins, be looking for this kind of stuff, okay? This is major. They say devil is in the details. This absolutely is going to be one of those items where the devil is absolutely in the details. Now, I don't have the picture here, but down, let's see, you can't see it, down at the bottom where it says peace, there is a design element that I want to talk about. And I really wish I had a picture up here. I don't think, actually, you know what? I might be able to. I'm going to shift my screen a little bit. Hold on just a second. I'm going to shift and see if, there we go. Okay, you can see it now. I want you to look at the piece. Now you see how up top, the top of the C is thicker than the bottom. That's a design element. That is not doubling. So when you're looking at different classes of double dice and you see it's like, oh my God, the top of my C is so much thicker. That's a design element in the coin. If you go back and look at the other ones, you'll see that that's there. This is not a double die. This is not a double struck. This is just a design element. So I want people to understand what they're looking at when they see that. I've heard a couple people say, man, it looks like I've got a doubled C. It's not. It's part of the design element, and that is absolutely a normal part of that particular coin. The next thing I want to look at is if you go to the far two images on the right, I want you to look at the hair. Now, the hair on the obverse is going to be something that is really, really important for you to be looking at if you're looking at getting one of the high grades and searching for a raw coin. Okay, now the top image, and these images are not the best. I didn't take them. They came from the Department of Numismatics. But at the request in Sunday's live stream, I told him that one thing I wanted to look at is I wanted to look at and get pictures of the proof 70 against the raw coin. Now, if you look at the top image on the right is the proof 70, and the bottom image is his raw coin. And I want you to look at a couple specific areas. Now, I'm going to move myself, my actual photo. I'm going to move me. The power of internet. Okay, so if you're looking right here, okay, these are the areas that I want you to be focusing on, okay? You can see how clear and how solid they are, but look at the detail within here. You see the little line here. You'll see the line as it comes down. You'll see the detail here. Let me go ahead and open this up a little bit. You're going to be seeing this area up in through here, but one of the major areas you're going to be looking for is as you come down here, and you look right here, you're going to see how this kind of fades out right in through here. There's no detail right in here. It kind of fades out. It all looks mushy. It's flat. You don't see this curvature here that you do up top. You don't see the detail in the flow. You don't see the detail in the hair here. You see a little bit here, but you lose it up in here. It doesn't come through. There's just a lackluster level of detail in this segment of the coin. And this, again, this is the raw one. So this definitely wouldn't come in as a proof 70. Now we come back up here and you look, there's another area that I want you to look at, and that's going to be right here. I want you to look at how crisp and how clean the detail in the hair is. This is very clean. It's very crisp. You see definite dissemination of the design elements. You see the flowing aspect of the hair. You see the information come through. So like right here, you see it come down. There's a nice solid detail in the lines. You can actually see what looks like the design strokes from the artist in this particular area of the coin. Now, if I bring myself back down to this coin and I look in this same general area here, you just look at this and you just don't see the detail. You don't see the detail curvature that comes across here. You don't see the detail lines that come across here. You definitely don't see the opening. So here's the edge up above. You can see that little kind of crescent moon area. You don't see that here. You don't see the details down below. You don't see the gapping here. You don't see the split that you see up above. So when you're looking at the obverse of the coin and you're looking at the details in the hair, it's very, very important that you look, that you see the detail here. If you don't, you're obviously not going to be getting the higher end. And so there's two places I really want you to focus on when you're looking at buying the raw versions of these. Take your time, right? Get familiar with a couple key areas. And again, I'm going to scroll myself back up here to the top, and I'm going to give you 3 areas that I want you to look at. These may not be, Paula or Shay or Silverhound or Mantis Coin Shay. You may hear something from some of these other folks about where they want you to look at as far as details. But I'm going to give you 3 places I think you should be looking when you're looking at the obverse of this to really determine the clarity of your strike. And that is right here. I want you to look at this section right here, number 1. Okay, I want you to see that clear kind of W shape at the bottom of this. Okay, you can see how clear that is. Down here, you don't see it. You kind of see it gets mushy down at the bottom. It kind of blends. In the one below, it kind of blends in. Then it gets sharp, and then it gets mushy. Then it gets sharp, and then it kind of fades out into nothing. Here you see that curvature. Down below, you don't see that curvature. It's not very clear. So that's the first area that I want you to look at. The second area I want you to look at is right here. You can see this flowing detail down into this particular coin. You don't see that at all down below. Okay, so that's the second point that I want you to look at. And then the third one that I talked about before, and you can see this just straight down below me, and that's right here, and that's this area right here. You can see down below that the lower crest of this, where it's really, really deep, is there, but you don't see the detail inside. So you don't see the detail here. You don't see that element here coming out very clearly. You don't see this very clearly in the other one, and you definitely don't have the detail here along these edges and then down here. It's just not nearly as strong. Okay, you still see these major big clumps down here. So if I come down here, you can still see this major clump here. You can still see this major clump here, but you don't have the detail in between this finer area. So those are the 3 areas that I would have you look at. Now I'm going to fly myself back over here, the power of transportation. And again, when you're looking at the reverse, I really want you to focus here, because if you cannot see the details, or you can't see the details in the feather, or you can't see the details in the head, again, this is going to be an area where I really want you to be looking at. This is what's going to tell you that you have a really, really strong strike, that you have probably an earlier die state, good solid strike. And so if you really want to be looking, that's where the details are going to be. Yeah, and so Chief, again, I don't know how long they utilize these. I don't know. Yeah, see, that's where I was going. I don't think they use these a lot. I think it comes to, there's different elements, okay? So there's a lot of things that come into play when you're talking about this. One of the first ones is going to be the material, right? Is the planchet the right size? Is it the right weight? Is it the right thickness? You're going to be looking at the pressure on the coin. Was there something that prevented the actual strike from going all the way through? Was the material, these are you know, 999's fine. Was the material pushed in a way? Did the die itself, was it off-centered? Was there a heavier strike on the back? Were they misaligned? Were they off-center strikes? There's so many variables and things that can come into play in this particular item that you can't necessarily say it's die wear. Now you can, if they use the die, you know, 10,000 times, and yeah, okay, so the later ones may not be as nice. So there could be a little bit of die wear on these, but not significant die wear like you're going to see some of these late 1955 coins, like these 1955 cents, or coins throughout some of the 50s where they just hammer the dice to hell and overused them and abused them. You know, there's certain years where in cents where you can't find a good strike because they overuse the hell out of the dice. You won't find that usually in your proof coins. Now you may see that in the circulated ones, but you probably won't see that here as much in the proof. So I know I kind of flew through a lot of this. This is probably a discussion we can have more information on. I hope everybody really enjoyed this. This is something that, again, as I find things in the community, or as I hear items and hear issues, identify things that are going on, going wrong, I'm going to try and give you the best information that I can. Paula, again, I love you so much. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being in and being a supporter of mine, always providing me good corrective information. But do me a favor. Again, I want to support Department of Numismatics. The Sunday stream, I want you to start about the hour mark and watch that 30-minute segment where we break this down. I want you to kind of see where we were at, what was happening during that time frame. I want to support the Department of Numismatics. Silver Wolverine, if you're not a subscriber to his channel and you want to go support that, then you can go do that. But I really want to support the numismatic focus of Don Good Guy. So go ahead and William E. says he's going to overpay for the slab. Well, you can, but just wait. Really, just wait a little bit. Because again, it's going to be one of those things where the information overload, the inability for the mint to sell out immediately, and supply and demand, just don't react. Okay, just don't react. Save yourself some money. Wait a little bit. There will be time, and you will do what you're going to do. But okay, just don't panic. Don't freak out. Don't make a bad choice. Thanks, Chief. I appreciate this. So again, we're going to be heading over to Will's Treasure. We're going to be jumping on the premiere train. So please, if I can get one of my mods to throw that in there, let's go ahead and go support the premiere train. These guys and gals are wonderful people. And but if you want to continue more about the conversation, you want to talk about this tomorrow, it's going to be more of, again, my open mic, the general chit chat. If you want to come up, you can always come up and chat. We can talk about these things. There's some other things that I have for tomorrow. I didn't play the game today because I wanted the chat to focus on this particular description, this information. And so tomorrow I'll probably load up a game and we'll try to do that detective game tomorrow in Sunday's live stream. All right, all. I hope you all have fun. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate you. Again, if I could get one of my moderators to please put in Will's Treasure so that we can head on over there, I would appreciate it. Again, you guys, if you have any, no worries, Shift Kicker, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Farm Dog, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. If you have suggestions or requests, you want to talk about it. I know they've been talking about the Gold Buffalo in here, looking at some of the items. If you guys want to talk about stuff like that, let me know, especially in Saturday stream. I can go ahead and pull some information up. Matthew DeHart and Yoxnav, if you guys want to talk about that particular item, we can always go back and have a discussion tomorrow. You guys are more than welcome to come up on panel and we can discuss that. Again, I appreciate you all. I am not seeing anybody enter this into chat. So let me go ahead and throw Will's treasure up in here. I think I have. Do I have? Where is it? Let me pull this up real quick. Sorry about this. There we go. Thank you, Siren. All right, everybody. Passion, thank you for coming in. It was good to see you. Take care, y'all. We'll see you over at Will's Treasures here in just a couple moments. Please, as always, let them know that this is a Frostbite raid. Let them know that I sent you over. I appreciate you all. Take care, be blessed, and don't get into any trouble that we can't get you out of. They steal that line from Ida and Paula. Y'all take care.